Is going to be on the show on Monday morning, I do believe. Now it's 18 minutes past 11. We've got Matt Smith with us now. Matt is, well, I'm guessing, recovering from a big effort yesterday. 731 sheep that Matt sheared yesterday, and this is a new world record. Well done.
Thank you.
God, it's a world record breaking show today. We had the rowers in earlier. We've got you in now, all breaking world records. How are you feeling this morning?
Remarkably good, yeah.
Really? Not aching? Not stiff?
A little bit stiff, but I honestly imagine feeling a heck of a lot worse, especially after how I felt after the last record. I wasn't expecting to be walking after this one, but yeah, I feel remarkably good.
Now you're from Cornwall. Well, you're from New Zealand, aren't you? But you're in Cornwall. You're on a farm in Cornwall.
Yeah.
And you broke the world record on a farm in Cornwall.
Yeah.
So it's our world record, essentially, then, isn't
Pretty
it?
much. It's the first in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
And everybody that was involved deserved this record. The local support, the support back from New Zealand. It was a hell of a team effort.
We had a tweet from the New Zealand High Commission wishing you good luck when you were doing it. So they were following you from home.
Yeah, the support from home has actually been phenomenal. New Zealand and Australia, obviously, where this industry is a lot more prominent than obviously Britain or most other countries because it's part of our culture, has been overwhelming, actually. Their support and congratulations is phenomenal. So
let's talk this through because you were telling me, and I'm speaking like I know what I'm talking about, but I actually don't because Matt was telling me off air. There's an 8-hour record and a 9-hour record.
Yeah, there's two general working days. So you've got your 8-hour day, which now is the more common day because people have evolved and don't want to get up at 4 o'clock every morning. But traditionally we had the 9-hour day, which was 5 o'clock start in the morning and 5 o'clock finish in the evening with 3 hours breaks. You stop at 7, you'd have an hour for breakfast, half-hour break, hour for lunch, half-hour break. And that was a good day to work on. I was brought up working on those days. We were on big sheep stations. We were shearing between 10 to 20,000 on each farm. There was 4 of us shearing, 3 wool helping and what we called a presser. We lived together for 4 months of the year while we were working for that contractor doing that season. And that's how it rolled. So for me, an 8-hour day was quite foreign until I was in my early 20s, really. I'd never really shorn an 8-hour day until I was about 23.
Well, what's the big difference then? There's and essentially an hour's difference. So what's the big difference in working practices?
The 8-hour day is a family-friendly day, in terms of we get to go home every evening, and if you've got a family, it's a lot nicer to be sharing in those environments. So you start at 7, you probably leave home at around 6, and you get home at probably 6 in the evening as well. So the day out is as long, but you get to come home, see the wife, see the kids, and do your little chores around the house. Yeah.
Right. But in world record terms, the holy grail is the 9-hour day.
Yeah, that's respected as the big one, the mecca of records, and it's something now we use the 8-hour record to try and feel where we're to, are we capable? How hard is this? But now that's getting far enough out there too that's actually, I don't know what you can use as a stepping stone now to gauge yourself or gain experience without it being quite negative, because there's a lot of people now trying these records and failing, and that doesn't have a positive feel to go forth and do it again,
Because you held the 8-hour, didn't you?
Yeah. I've only ever attempted two world records and been lucky enough with the support crew and the team we've had to break both of them each time. So, yeah, really grateful for that.
So you held the 8. That's actually been broken subsequently, hasn't it? And now you hold the 9-hour record. You were telling me as well that you probably feel better now than you did after the last one.
Yeah.
Is that all to do with the preparation?
Yeah, a lot of preparation. I had a great team last time, a phenomenal team, but as much as everybody learned, I learned a lot. And now the trainers are used, who they're Launceston-based, FA Fitness. Those 2 guys were absolutely amazing. What they went out of their way to learn and understand about what the body needed. Rather than, like, I've gone and trained for a lot of different things in the past, and you go to a trainer and they're like, right, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it, and this is where you're going to end up, which has kind of worked. I went to these guys and they were like, right, what have you done in the past? What do you think was good? What do you think was bad? And then they actually went online, they found videos of shearing, things like that, and it was part of the way through the training, I was like, God, these guys are off their head, like, this is randomly nuts. But it's really paid off. How I feel now compared to how I felt and how I managed the day, it's very, very surreal, actually. They
So
made the day possible.
when that was happening, Matt, were you thinking, this isn't right, I need to be doing something like I did last time? Or did you have every faith in what they were trying to do?
I had every faith in what they were trying to do because they're really switched on guys, but it wasn't easy, don't get me wrong, but I felt like it should have been harder. As I
Right.
know that's like I couldn't do any more, but I wasn't
You weren't dying
dying
after every
either.
session, yeah.
So yeah, hats off to them for
But
that.
so that then says to me it was targeted on what you needed.
So super specific. It was. I don't even looking back at it now. They wizards, but at the time they're bonkers really. But hey, they got results.
What were they doing then that you thought was a bit
Like
off
just
the
a
wall?
lot of random carrying positions, which obviously when you're sitting back and look at a shearer and some of the things you're doing and the strength where we built strength initially, how it was structured, a lot of the earlier stages was strength rather than cardio. And I was just like, yes, like this isn't hard to me because I've spent my whole life doing it, but it's not what you'd watch people do in the gym. It's not bench pressing, it's not deadlifts, it's not anything that a general person would go to the gym and do. Yes, it still hurt, but when I look at it now, I was like, yeah, that was pretty clever.
So I guess you work on a farm, you're going to be pretty fit anyway. Do you keep up a fitness regime now? Have you gone back to like an old fitness regime? 'Cause you don't need to do that one all the time now, do you?
No, I'd like to think I'm going to keep fit now, and I really enjoyed training with these guys, so I'll stick with it. Not to that level. My wife and I, we've taken on her family farm. We run 1,400 sheep ourselves. We've got a young family, so juggling this has been difficult. I'm going to enjoy 2 or 3 weeks a little bit easier.
Still on a buzz now, are you?
Yeah, still on a buzz. Wife and I, we got married nearly 3 years ago. We haven't had a honeymoon. It's been a huge lead up to this. We've had a couple of letdowns, and it was meant to happen last year. We didn't travel. We didn't do anything. She's been so supportive. So now it's a bit of time with them and say thank you, and hopefully have a honeymoon somewhere warm.
What, you mean like St. Mawes or somewhere Newquay?
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it warm at times.
Yeah, it's a slightly different climate to New Zealand, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of it's not so bad, but yes, it's different. We get our seasons at home, and I miss that. I miss that.
Do you?
I miss that. You're going to have summer, and you're going to have winter, because we can get all 4 seasons in one damn day here, as you guys know very well. So yeah, but hey, we get a lot of grass here. From a farming point of view, anybody that says everywhere else is it's as easy for them, I suggest they go get on a plane, because it's not that bad here. Yeah, we had a hell of a hard winter here last year, but still we had grass to feed stock, whereas I'm coming from a climate where grass doesn't grow for 7 to 8 months of the year, Yeah. So
as far as you're concerned, then, is the farming industry pretty good at the moment?
yeah, no,
Every industry is going to have its downsides. Obviously,
yeah,
aren't there?
definitely. And I think that's something that farmers, we all get trapped, and I've found myself in at times. You get caught in your own little local bubble when you think, oh, it's all doom and gloom. But the reality of it is, for every negative there's a positive, and you've just got to work as well as you can with the positives, make them work for you, and try and just put the negatives as far away to the side as possible. But it is difficult, you get caught up in it. But again, going away and sharing, going to a lot of different farms, it's been really easy for me to actually come home and think, it's not that bad. You've sometimes you go to a farm and you think, God, that guy's really switched on. We can use a bit of that, And other times you go to a farm and you think, wow, like we've definitely not going too bad here.
Well, look, just back to the shearing world record. Was there any time during the day you didn't think you were going to make it?
Funnily enough, this is a question being asked a lot, and I've asked myself it. And it was a very surreal day, and no, there was never a point where I thought the body wasn't going to cope. In the last record, there was definitely a lot of points where I knew the body wasn't going to cope. But this one, somehow, it was everything. It was at the absolute limit, but everything was in control. And I don't know how that happened, but it did.
Because you must have known how many you had to do every hour to make that record.
I had a younger brother. We shore one sheep at a time. We didn't set out to share 7. We did set out to share 722.
That's a great tongue twister, isn't it? Try that one at home.
But we broke it down to every sheep, and we had a goal to share every sheep in 45 seconds.
45 seconds, that's what I heard, yeah.
And in that, so that gave you exactly 720 sheep for the day. And then we were hoping, because the rules are, if your hand is on the catching pen door when they call time, you get to catch the last sheep.
Right.
So the plan was to 45 seconds, and then if all was going well in the last 15 minutes of every run, we would try and gain that 4 or 5 seconds to get my hand on the door and hopefully gain that one sheep. Yeah,
right.
to get that one sheep. But we, throughout the day, we got the catch every run. Every run we managed to get to catch. So that was 5 extra sheep. But then throughout the day, we managed to actually put 5 sheep around the clock. We progressively gained, and then the younger brother, he's a phenomenal shearer himself. He's actually current world champion in competitions, which is different than records. So he understood everything really, really well. He was like, right, we're half a sheep up now. We're going to have a fresh pen shortly. You've got a fresh cutter on. Let's nudge away. Let's whack 5 seconds off each sheep, and we'll try and get a whole sheep, and then just settle back down. And when you've been shearing sheep at 40 seconds, 45 seconds feels quite comfortable again.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. It's incredible. I didn't realise how technical it was to try and break this record. And the team that you obviously had around you have done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Well, it's been good to talk to you, Matt.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done. So, deserved rest for you now for the next few days, I think.
Yep.
Look after the wife.
Yeah.
Take her on a honeymoon. Lovely. Sounds good. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Let's hope nobody out in New Zealand is thinking, right, I'm going to have a go at that record myself now.
Well, there is actually a guy going for it in January again.
Really?
The same guy that's tried 4 times. So best of luck,
So then come February, March, you'll be going, right, my new world record has just been broken, so I'm just going to have a go and get that one back.
No, I'm done now.
Really? Is that it?
I'm done.
Okay. It's coming up to 11:20.